Good morning, Nutriformance community. Welcome to Fitness Outside My Front Door. You have tuned in this morning to Metabolic Core. So a super straightforward class. We're going to do as many cycles as we can get through. We're going to do this in Tabata fashion, which means it's going to be about 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest for a total of 4-minute little nuggets that we'll call cycles. Disclaimer, evidently it's trash pickup time. So you may hear the garbage truck behind me. I hadn't, it might drown out the sound of the birds, which is awfully relaxing right now, but you might hear the trash truck. I apologize. A couple things before we get started. You're going to need a mat, and then either a legitimate weight or maybe a handheld substitute. So a substitute for a weight might be a jar or a can of food. It might be a good idea is just take a water bottle, like we all have sitting around. We probably have too many water bottles. Fill it with water. You could fill it with, if you want to keep that water bottle full and just use it as your weight, you can just go fill it with dirt or sand or something like that and just have it be your weight. We're going to get going. We're just going to keep it going on a rigid 4 minutes cycle, and then with the 1 minute that we have between each cycle, that's your chance to grab your water, keep it loose, stretch out a little bit more. But we're just going to go ahead and get started so I can get through as many cycles as we possibly can. All right, if you didn't give yourself a little warm up to start with, here we go. All right, feet to about comfortable hip width apart. Bring the arms up overhead. We're just going to do a couple chair poses here, just to warm those arms and those shoulders up. Swing those arms out, take a squat. Stand straight up, swing those arms around, take that squat. Inhale it up, circle it around. Inhale 4, and one more time. Inhale 5, arms by your side. We're going to take that chin, tuck it, and we're going to roll down as if somebody's pushing you into your sternum. We're just going to roll down from the side. Just kind of looks like you are rolling down to where your shoulders are parallel to your hips. And we're going to uncurl and come back up. Second set. Inhale it up. Exhale it out into chair. Push straight down into your feet. Exhale it around. Here's 3, and circle it around. 4, and around. Here's 5. And again, arms by your side. Tuck that chin. Go ahead and roll. Somebody's pushing you into your sternum. Roll down. So from the side, you go shoulders down to about parallel to the hips. You got that nice lumbar flexion, stretching it out. Now you're going to stack it on the way up. Go ahead and uncurl as you stack those vertebrae one at a time. Let's go one more set. Inhale it up. Exhale it to chair. Inhale 2. Exhale it around. 3. And here's 4. And one more 5. All right, couple knee hugs in place. We're going to take it down to a quadruped position on your mat. Bring it on down. Hands right underneath your shoulders. I'm going to keep my toes tucked under. We're just going to push into the floor. So abduct the shoulder blades a little bit, and then let it release a little bit so you feel it glide in that shoulder joint. Just do that a couple times. And then you're going to keep pushing that floor away, and you're going to add an easy extension and flexion. So a couple easy cat-cows. And then we're going to come back to a long, neutral spine. And you want to keep your zipper zipped, right? This past couple weeks, I talk about what your belly zipper is. That's my word. It's that pelvic, from your pubic bone right up and over those lower ribs. It's very flat, it's very tight, it's very compressed. You want to keep that zipper zipped the entire class. Let's bring it back down to those all fours. I'm going to tuck the toes. I'm going to push into the floor, lift the knees up off of the floor. Lift and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hike it to a downward facing dog. We're going to pedal through your heels for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up on your toes. Float back down, knees right above the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike it up. Pedal through the heels. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up on your toes. One more time. You're going to float for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pike it up. Pedal through the heels. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to walk my hands in towards my feet towards my hands. And here I go, uncurling myself up again. Stack as you come up. Couple lunges. All right, I'm going to face you. You can face any way you want. Lunges front. Going to alternate for 10, 9, and there's 8. Watch your knee placement with your toes. 7. Here is 6 and 5. 4 more. We're going to go side to side. 4, 3. Here's 2 and 1. Take it side to side. You've got a lateral lunge, side to side. Here's 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. 4 more. 4. Nice flat back as you hinge. 3, 2, 1. We're going to go straight back. A little step back for 10 and 9. Here's 8, and we're going to get right moving. 7, 6, 5. 4 to go. 4 and 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's do a couple of those knee hugs. Knee hug. How about some quad stretches? Bring them up behind. Try to not let your knee wing out to the side. A couple hip cradles. All right, so grab what you need. The first cycle that we're going to do is super easy. It's either going to be, it's kind of the intro cycle. We're either just going to squat in place, or we're going to do what I call a snap down, where you come up on your toes and you pull back down into your squat. It's a little bit more dynamic. The second half of that is going to be coming down to a plank. You can do this either on your knees or up on your toes, and it's going to be an alternating push-up plank. Down to your elbows, back up to your hands. Down to your elbows, back up. Alternating arms. You can do this on your knees. Same thing. Alternating arms. All right. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, back and forth. As we go through these, you're going to hear the buzzer's not very loud, but I will tell you when we were on. We're going to be on right now, snap downs. As we go through these, I will give the modifications on the fly so that we can just keep on moving. All right, we're looking at 9 seconds left. Keep it going. Reach. Planting yourself right back down into that squat every time. All right, dropping it down. You've got 10 seconds off. Coming down to your first round push-up planks. I'll take it down to the knees as a modification. Here we go. Down, down, push up, up. Keep your belly zipped. The hands come right underneath your shoulder. That's the end of that. All right, so coming up safely, going right back into your squats or your snap downs. Ready, set, and begin. All right, so again, every time you plant yourself back into that squat, from being up on your toes, you think about being in a perfect footprint. Reach, up. 10 seconds off. Coming back down to your push-up plank. Again, on your toes or on your knees as a modification down. We are on. All right, coming back up. Third round. Squats or snap downs. Ready, in 2, 1, begin. Up, reach. Okay, so again, just a squat You don't need to come up on the toes, just a squat. Do something with those hands. Always watching for that knee alignment. You don't want to be knee squatting, so the knees don't exceed the toes. Take it back down. Third set in your 4 minutes, push-up planks. Knees or toes. I'll bring it back down to the knees to show the modification. And as you push into the floor and come back up high in that plank, be sure that you are pushing the floor away. You're not letting your upper body sag between your shoulder blades. Up we go. Okay, this is the final round in our first cycle. Squats or snap downs. I'll just keep it the low impact squat. Let's see how long this jacket lasts. I think it's gonna come up right after the cycle's over. All right, taking it down to your final round, your final set in this first cycle. Push-up planks on your toes or on your knees. I'll take this one back up on my toes. Stay rigid through the body, through the hips. Guys, coming on up, we are going to move on to our second cycle. For the second cycle, we're going to grab that weight or that modification to a weight. Let's say I take my water bottle right here, Russian twist, seated on the floor, keep my toes down, my feet flat. I'm just going to hold this water bottle with my elbows out to the side. Tucked in here, we're going to twist side to side. All right, the second half of that, we're gonna keep it down on your mat. It's gonna be a side plank, legs staggered, lifting to the side plank. All right, if I wanna make this a dynamic side plank, I'm gonna lift and lower my hips. You can stack your feet if you'd like. It's more comfortable for me to stagger. And then we will flip sides each time. All right, and be sure that you're pushing into the floor. We're going to go in about 10 seconds if you want to grab your weight. You don't want to sag into that one single supporting shoulder or elbow. We go. Ready, set. Start that twist. All right. Keep those ribs deep. You might think about keeping your knees together as if you're squeezing a $100 bill in there. You didn't want to let it slip out. And that might help keep your hips a little bit more stable. All right, 10 seconds off. Take it down to your first side plank. Either one's fine. I'm gonna stagger. I'm gonna come up into that neutral plank, and I'm gonna start my dynamic lifting and lowering of the hips. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. I'm not sagging into my shoulder. All right, we are down. Gonna grab our weight back again. You can also do this with no weight. You can just do this with your hands. Going ready, set, twisting. The elbows are wide, but you're almost as if you're twisting with your sternum, keeping your focus, in this case my water bottle, right out in front of me. So I'm not flinging it side to side. All right, now I'm gonna come onto my other elbow, stacking my leg over, propping myself up into my side plank. Hips and shoulders are stacked. I'm gonna add my dynamic lift. About 10 seconds left. I don't know if you can hear that, the interval timer I have going. And we lower it down. Coming back, we take another twist. All right, so we're into our second minute of this round now. Here we go, twisting. I just want to reassure you that I do have an interval timer going right now. You might not be able to see it or hear it, but I'm not making up the time. Some of you might think I'm making it up. All right, we're going back to the initial side of your side planks. I'm going to stack, or stagger rather, pushing into the floor, lifting up. Here we go. You can also just hold it straight, neutral. If you want to add the dynamic aspect to it, go right ahead. Think of your zipper here as staying close to you, not sagging, not twisting, not buckling up, coming back into that Russian twist. I believe this is our last one in our cycle, and then we'll move on. Here we go. Twisting side to side. Ten seconds. Good hip stability along with that core strength to keep you from wiggling around side to side. All right, final set in your side plank. Take it on your elbow. I'm gonna stagger my legs, pushing myself up, stacking hips, stacking shoulders. Here we go. And I'm trying to put my weight not just on my elbow, but through my entire forearm, so that all that weight's not pinpointed on my elbow. All right. Maybe we've got one more set of twists. Oh no. All right, so that one's done. Let's take our time getting back up. I'm gonna demo the next set. We're gonna start with squat jacks. All right, so the first half of our next cycle, we've got squat jacks. I can reach single arm, I can reach double arm, I can reach single arm with a twist. Okay, I can modify that down. I can do a squat, simple squat side to side. Still getting a little bit of that lateral motion in. The second half of that 4-minute Tabata, mountain climbers, taking it down to a plank. We can march, knees in, or we can run. Okay, regardless, you keep that zipper zipped. It's not gonna sag away from you. Think about gliding, so keeping the hips stable, not bouncing your hips up and down. You're not trying to bring your heels to your butt. Here we go, squat jacks. Try to give you better warning next time. All right, I'm gonna maybe add just a little twist, side to side. Okay, bringing it down to our mountain climber. Down to a safe plank. I'll modify down and just march this one out for everybody. So knees glide in. Stable in your upper body. Stable through the shoulders. Staying up on my toes. Bringing it back up. All right, second set of the 4 minutes. We've got squat jacks or modify to the squat touch side to side. Here we go, on. I'm gonna go through and reach with both hands. Just a little tap to the floor with the fingers, even if you don't reach the floor. All right, bottom of that second set. Head back down to your plank, marching or running. I'm gonna run this one. Pushing into the floor, staying stable. Gliding the knees in. Try not to bounce. Here we go, top of the third set, squat jacks. I'm gonna do the modification down this time. Step touch side or squat side to side. Modification down. so the toes are going to stay forward. Try not to take the toes out of alignment with the knees. Your back stays flat. And again, watching the knees so they don't exceed the toes. Bringing it back down to your mountain climber. I'm going to bring it back down to just the modified march instead. Here comes the trash truck. Told you. Okay, this is the top of our final set in this cycle. The squat jacks or modify down. I'll go back to the jack, single arm reach. Almost there. All right. Final round of mountain climbers, everybody, down to the plank. Then I got a loose jacket. Okay, push straight down into the floor, find the stability. Okay, you're either running this last set or again, you're modifying to a march. Either one, up on the toes and gliding. Up we go. All right, losing the jacket. We are moving on to our fourth. We got our fourth cycle. That fourth cycle is going to be obliques. Old-fashioned name for those obliques would be bicycles. So this whole cycle will be on your mat. And bring it on down. Hands tucked behind the head. You're going to bring one hand at a time. And you alternate with your shoulder, not with your elbow. So lead through your shoulder. The second half of that is going to be what I call an oblique V. Many of you know what these are. Right here. I'm going to lower and lift my bottom leg. Just a. They'll be gone in just a minute. A one-sided scissor abduction right here. All right, and we will alternate sides. If you want to modify that up, you go for both legs at the same time. We're going to get ready to go right here with the obliques on your back. Ready, set. And we begin. Again, leading through the shoulder. Zipping this right here. I have to laugh with that garbage truck going on in the background. All right. Rocking yourself up or rolling over onto a hip. I'm going to go onto my right hip to start. Right here, I'll do just that right leg. I'm going to abduct and adduct that leg back together again. We're going to keep this zipped up. We're going to keep those ribs deep. I'm not going to let myself sag into that shoulder. So I'm pushing into the floor. I'm pushing away from the floor. Getting these inner leg muscles right there. All right, into that set. You're back onto your back. I think they're going away now. Bye-bye. Obliques. There they go. All right. Sorry about that trash truck interruption. But I am thankful that they are still on the job and coming by to collect our dumpsters. All right, rocking yourself up or rolling over onto a hip. All right, so I'm going to go to my left hip this time, bringing myself up into that oblique V. It's just my left leg. Now that I'm going to scissor, dropping it down, lifting it back up, pushing into my left shoulder. Okay, the modification up to that is both legs at the same time. Okay, but don't lose your form and keep the legs together. All right, I'm gonna drop it back on my back. Top of the third set, obliques. We are on. Okay, each of these extensions from the hip and the knee, very deliberate. So you're not just kicking your legs out there, you are extending them. All right, rocking yourself up or rolling over onto a hip. I'm gonna go back to my right hip, second round of the obliques, pushing into the floor, or the oblique V's rather. The leg is either single or we double it up. Okay, if you keep both legs together, you're being very sure that they aren't separating from one another. So you want to keep those legs together as a pair. All right, and we're coming down to our last round of obliques. Bring it on down, hollow this out, zip it down, hands behind the head, lead through your shoulder, last set. And I'm gonna rock myself up or roll over onto a hip. I've got my last round of those obliques. I'm gonna be on my left hip, the oblique V's, up, bottom leg only, or you can modify up to both legs together. Keeping this zipped, not pushing your abdomen away. That zipper helps keep everything flat. This will be the end of this cycle, guys. We're just moving right along. All right, we are gonna be back up top, so take your minute to come on up. We've got a skater for our next cycle. From side to side, right? We skate, we skate, we skate. We can modify that up. We can modify that up by adding a reach side to side. All right, or you can add speed to that as well. You can speed it up. To modify down, I'm just gonna take lunges side to side, side to side. Lunges. You can stay pretty upright with those lunges, or you can add a reach. All right, the second half of that, we are gonna take our modified weight. I'm gonna take my water bottle. You know what, I'm not. My friend Allie Brown Blackwell dropped off some home canned green beans. Here we go. I'm gonna take underneath and pull that weight underneath, side to side. I can also do this on my knees. All right, so I've got my weight available. It'll start with the skaters in 4, 3, 2, top of the cycle, skate. So this is just your basic move right here. From this you can modify up and you can modify down. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I got my weight available, coming down to the plank, either on your knees or on your toes. I'll do the first one modified down on my knees. You're in a good solid plank here. I'm gonna bring that weight under. I'm gonna bring that weight under. I can't wait to dive into these green beans later on today. They're pickled. I think they're spicy. Pretty excited. Love green beans. All right, keep it there. Come on back up for your skates. She surprised me with those. It was just a door knock, drop, she was out. Okay, again, this is your basic move for the skate. You can modify this up by adding a little reach. You can modify it down by making it a step touch. We're gonna bring it down. Second set of those unders. I'm gonna do this one on my toes. Push straight down into the floor. I'm gonna reach under, take it out. Reach under, take it out. Your goal, one of them, is to not rock too much side to side. Stay steady in the hips. And coming back up. Third round of skates. I'll modify this one up a little bit. I'm gonna go on adding that little twist and reach. So here we go. Reach. You can reach down towards your toes. It's a little bit more like a single leg squat every time. 5 seconds. Bringing it back down to the plank, on your toes or your knees. Your weight comes underneath you. Trying to stay stable. Push through the floor. And we go. Couple more seconds. Thinking about that zipper. Keeping the zipper zipped. Coming on up. Final round of the skates. I'll modify this one down to just the lunge side to side. And I'm going to add a little twist to that. Okay? Just a little side lunge and a reach. The spine stays long as you hinge from the hips. And even though I'm taking a little bit of that twist or rotation, I'm keeping the spine long. 4 seconds. 3, 2, bottom of that cycle. We're coming down to that plank. The green beans are coming under. Pushing through the floor, steadying those hips, and we go. This is the bottom of this cycle. We are just cruising through these cycles. We're going to see how many we can get through. We are up. Put my green beans back. All right, moving on, guys. Remember to give yourself a little stretch. Towel down. Make sure you're staying hydrated. We've got this is our 6th cycle already. We're gonna do back extension. So down on your mat, we're gonna flutter kick. So this whole set will be down on the mat. We're not gonna be getting up and down. I'm gonna lower myself to the belly. I'm gonna push my pubic bone down, draw my ribs in, reach my fingertips to the end of the mat, lift my legs. What I'm gonna do is a little flutter, really squeezing that backside. All right, the second half of that. We're gonna come over onto our back. We're gonna bridge, and we're gonna do a single leg hip bridge. We're gonna alternate sides when we do that. Modification would be, instead of a single leg bridge, just keep both feet on their perfect footprints on your mat and just do double leg hip bridges the entire time. All right, we're gonna start with the back extension. Let's get down on our belly, get ready in 3, 2, 1, and now I'm gonna kick my feet. Okay, and what I'm gonna try to do is not wobble side to side. I'm gonna try to draw my ribs in a little bit more so that I don't feel like I'm resting on them like a shelf. All right, gonna roll over. Here we go, either leg up first. Just remember which leg you're on. I'm gonna keep my left leg down, my right leg up. I'm gonna hip bridge, lowering and lifting. Belly stays flat, zipper stays flat. This left leg is offering up a good solid footprint on the floor. All right, lowering it down, flipping over. Staying off of your ribs, reaching your arms back. We go with that kick. It's just a constant contraction back here, which why it might feel like it's tiring out pretty quickly, maybe. And we're gonna roll it back over. This time I'm gonna keep my right leg down, bring my left leg up. Here we go. Zipping it up off of the mat into the bridge. Does not matter if my extended leg here is straight, or maybe you need to keep it a little bent. That's fine. All right, lowering the foot down first, uncurling to the floor. I'm gonna flip back over. Flutter kicks, top of the 3rd set. Reach back, get off those ribs, and we kick. So you tend to hear a lot of birds, a variety of birds, when I'm outside my door here because I live around a lot of nice wooded areas, which tend to be bird sanctuaries. And lower it down, flip it over. We're gonna go back to the left leg being down on the floor and the right leg extending, hip bridges. I don't know if you just heard the geese that flew over. All right, both feet come down first. I uncurl to the floor. Gonna flip back over. This is our final set in 4, 3, 2. Reaching back, kicking those little bitty flutter kicks in the water. So trying to stay off of those ribs. Reaching, lengthening through the top of the head. All right, flipping it back over. One final time. This time it's my right leg down. Final set with the left leg up. In 3, 2, 1, and go. The modification again is to have both feet on the floor. So you can squeeze evenly if you're a little unsure of keeping your hips lined up and stable. All right, uncurling back down to the floor, giving myself maybe a little child's pose stretch on your back. All right, you can stay there and stretch. I'm gonna go ahead and demo the next cycle. All right, for this next cycle, we're gonna be up on our feet the whole time. We're gonna do a little overload. Love me a little overload. I'm gonna start with my weaker of my 2 legs. We all might have a weaker side, whether it be just the way you were born, or maybe you've had surgery. In my case, it's a combination of the way I was born and having surgery on my left side, on my left leg. I'm gonna keep my foot planted and I'm gonna do a repeater, okay? We can go fast as we pump those arms, all right? Or we can take it as a slow step. We're gonna do that for 20 seconds. And then on the 10 seconds off, we're gonna hold our balance. Okay, we're gonna stay on one side for 4 sets, going in 4. Hit your leg, 3, 2, top of the first. Again, so we will stay on this leg for 2 full minutes before we switch to the other leg. The spine stays long, pump the arms. You've got that perfect footprint on the floor, so we're not rolling to the outside or inside edges of your foot. Now, I'm gonna balance on that left leg. Bring it up, squeeze, stabilize, get ready to go again. In 2, 1, we go. Second set of 4 on this leg. I find that the good arm, leg. So if you're trying to go a little faster, think about moving the arms a little faster. Here we go. I think my internet connection might have just dropped there for a second, so I apologize about that. Still working the bugs out of this live thing. All right, balancing on that left leg. This is the bottom, moving on to the final set on this leg, and then we'll go right into the other leg. And we go. Ten more seconds, right? So I'm finishing off this leg. Might try to speed my arms up a little bit, get those legs to move a little faster, and now I'm gonna shake it out. Woo! Put the other leg forward. 4 straight sets. Plant it, get ready to go, toe and knee forward, and first of 4. So 2 straight minutes to finish off this cycle. Five seconds. First round, There's the buzzer. I'm gonna balance on my right leg. Take a breath, get ready to go again in 4, 3, 2, and 1. There's the ding. Trying not to keep anything very loud because of the neighbors. They've been very understanding. All right, balancing up on my right leg. Picking that left leg up, finding the stability. Get ready to go again. Third set. Finding the balance for the last time. Fourth and final set on this leg. Tight tummy, tight zipper, go. All right, guys, shaking that right leg out. That was the end of that cycle. That was cycle number 7 already. We're gonna try one more. All right, our 8th cycle. Squat jumps or modify down. So squat jumping right here. Gonna leave the floor. Doesn't have to be big, just a little aerobic jumps, all right? Not big plyometric ones. Just a little aerobic jump or your basic squat. We have those other modifications all the way down, right? Including the snap down, the squat jack again if you want to do that, the side to side steps. All right, so the big modification up will be the actual jump up off the floor. That's the first half of your set. Second half, we're gonna change our plank hold every time. First one's gonna be elbows, right? And we're just gonna compress. Second one's gonna be side, and then we're gonna do the other side, and then we're gonna be on our back for a boat. We're gonna do one every set. We're gonna start in about 5 seconds. We've got squat jumps. I'll tell you what we're doing for our plank hold when we're done here. Ready, set, go. I'll just start with that modification up. Little structured aerobic jump off the floor. 5 seconds. All right, coming down. First set I'm gonna do, elbow plank. I'm gonna pretend like I'm pulling my elbows towards my toes and my toes up to my elbows. Go. All right, so it's as you're not moving at all. It's an isometric. You're trying to compress everything into your belly button. Pull the elbows back, pull your toes forward without hiking at the hips. We got 4, 3, 2, and 1, we're up. All right, squat jumps is the modification up, or any of the modifications down that we've done so far. I'm gonna go all the way down with the squat this time. Here we go, squat. All we gotta do to make that a little bit more dynamic is, right, to bring it off the floor. Okay, a little bit of modification for everybody. 4 seconds. All right, second thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get on our back. We're gonna do either a hollow hold, typical boat, or a full V, right here, full boat. I'll hold the full boat. You can always hold the traditional boat, and here is a hollow boat. Either way, your zipper is flat. You're not pushing your belly button out. 3, 2, 1. Make your way back up. Squat jumps. This is our final cycle, by the way, and then we're gonna add a little stretch. Here we go. All right, if I wanna take this down just a smidge, I might just go to my snap down, up on my toes, and back down into my squat without jumping. All right, second hold we're gonna do, or third hold rather. On our side, we've got our side plank, pushing into the floor. I can also lower to my knees. All right, so either one of these, the goal is just to be calm. Push into the floor, nothing dynamic about it. Just focus on the hold. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Coming back up to my feet. Final set. All right, modify that squat, jump down as you'd like. I'm gonna come down to a jack here. Seconds. Our final hold will be the other side of that side plank. Coming on down. Just focus on the hold. Lifting up, modifying that down to my knee if I need to. Hips are stacked, shoulders stacked. Your zipper is straight. It's not sagging towards the floor. It's not bending away from the floor. 5 seconds. We're gonna stay on your mat. Okay, coming on down to your hip. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it on my back to start my stretch. That was nice, guys. Ooh, that went by fast. I also kept you a little long. So let me go ahead and stop my timer. Stop, so it doesn't keep on going. All right, on your back. Knees into your shoulders, child's pose. Feet to the floor. Let your knees sway side to side. Keep your shoulders down. The goal here is not letting your hips rise. Keeping your zipper zipped. All right, figure 4 stretch. Super simple. Right ankle over left knee. I'm gonna reach down and grab for my left hamstring. Pull it in. Ankle rolls a couple times, both directions. It's important, right? Our ankles need to stay happy as well. We've been up on them, jumping around a little bit. Okay, gonna lower my left leg back down, uncross my right, cross my left knee over my left ankle over my right knee, reaching for the right hamstring, pull it in. Give it those ankle circles. All right, lowering the right foot to the floor, uncrossing the left. I can either pull my knees in and rock myself forward to seated, or I'm gonna roll over on my hip, prop myself up. Either way, I'm coming back onto my all fours, hands and knees, doesn't matter which way you're facing. Child's pose, more traditionally now. Reaching those arms out in front, sitting your hips back by your heels. If your knees don't like to hyperflex, then you just keep your hips a little higher. Your arms might reach out a little bit further, and it turns into a puppy dog pose. So whatever feels comfortable. You're gonna walk your hands off to the right side of your mat, sit back into your left hip. To the other side, so my hands come off to the left side of your mat, sit back with your hips to your right heel. Alrighty, I'm gonna sit myself straight down on this mat again, facing you guys. I'm gonna let my legs do whatever they wanna do. I like to sit in bound angle here. My sign-off stretch, right? So I'm just trying to keep things as I would if I were teaching this class at Nutriformance. I always have my sign-off stretch. Reaching my arms back behind us, interlacing the fingers together, pressing your palms together. Reach your arms as your shoulders allow away off of your body without letting your ribs flare out. All right, so you might not get very far. Bring those hands on over to your right hip crease, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. You're gonna look gently up to the left. Swing it around to the left hip. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Look gently up to the right. All right, I'm bringing it back to the center. Closing my legs up or bringing my knees in towards me otherwise. Coming up and over into a standing forward fold. All right, I'm going to uncurl myself up the rest of the way. So one vertebrae at a time. Stacking as I come up, the zipper still stays flat. So I want you to keep that zipper zipped the entire day, whatever you're doing. Thanks for tuning in again. The live schedule has been published on the Nutriformance Facebook page and on Instagram. So please check us out. The classes are every morning of the week. There should be maybe some other offerings coming, including some pre-recorded stuff to supplement the live stuff. I'm going to try to film one today and pop it up on the Nutriformance page. Evie has done a couple of great workouts. You should check them out as well. So I'm hoping that you guys are all good, staying active, staying safe, and Lisa will see you tomorrow morning. I will see you back on Wednesday morning. Everybody have a great day.